up guys? In this video I'm going to be taking this titanium knife blank that I made with the Waterjet Channel and adding some handles to it. So if you missed part one of this, there's a link to it down in the description where we made this. And so essentially we've got ourselves a titanium knife blank. This will make for a really lightweight knife. It's not going to hold the best edge, but that's all right. It should still be fairly functional. And then I'm going to add handles to it. And so what I've chosen to use is Malachite trustone. And the reason I like this is because it's just such an incredibly unique material. The patterns it has on it look fantastic. If you didn't know, the company that makes this, they're the only company in the world that knows how to do it. And they've put so much just research and development into getting the product that you can see here today. But essentially they emulate the way nature makes real stuff. And so they start out with real stone. They use up to 80% stone content. And they use techniques like adding pressure and things like that. And that helps them get natural patterns. And it helps them get stuff that'll hold together. But what's really special about this is the fact that it's super durable. So if I were to use real malachite for this, it would just crumble, it'd be too brittle, it'd crack. And so that really wouldn't work. So this is going to be a fantastic usage of this. I think it's going to make a really interesting looking handle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this titanium rod and use that as the pins for it. And so we've got titanium on the knife handle and the titanium pins. And the special addition that I'm going to do to it is using this variable power supply to anodize it. And if you didn't know, you can use voltage to anodize titanium. So here's kind of a color spectrum that you can do. It starts out as blue on the left. That's the higher voltage. And as you go down, it gets to a more deeper purple and then more of a golden color. What I think we'll do is more of a golden color. I think that'll complement the green of the malachite pretty well. So I can do that on the pins. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit tricky to get the voltage where it needs to be, but I can definitely do it on the knife blade itself. So this should be a crazy looking knife. It should look really good, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, I picked both sides that I want to show in the final product and marked them with an X here. And I took it over the belt sander and I measured it with my calipers and I just flattened them out. Made sure that these were fairly flat from end to end. That will help with the next step, helping me get the holes drilled in it straight. So what I'm going to do, I want the X showing over here, and then the X showing here. So they need to be sandwiched like this, and then I need to take a drill bit and drill the holes where I'm gonna have the pin. But to help me out, I've already got this groove cut here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this in place, and then I'll cut the first, I think I'll do 3 holes, 1, 2, and 3. So anyways, I'll glue this in place, drill those first 3 holes, then I can flip it over and have the holes already there. That way I'm not drilling blind. And then I'll have this piece here that I can glue on at that point. So that'll make that really straightforward and easy. So I'll go ahead and do that. All right, now I'm gonna test fit the titanium pin. Obviously, like I said earlier, it's too big. And so what I've got set up here, just a drill with the titanium rod in it. I'm just gonna take some sandpaper and just slowly kind of narrow this down until it just perfectly fits in the hole. Alright, so I sanded away all of the super glue that was holding the handles to the knife. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to epoxy and pin the handles in place. That way I can begin final work on just all the finishing steps, making sure the titanium and the malachite has the finish that it needs. Alright, I let this cure for about 30 minutes in an oven. It's completely hardened, should be ready to go. I'm going to trim the pins off of it, and then I'm just going to go through, do a bunch of sanding, and get it to its final finish. And then all we'll have left to do is the anodizing of the titanium and then sharpening of the knife, so we're getting really close. Alright, I spent the last hour or so sanding this thing up. Got the finish looking really nice. I'm going to go ahead and start anodizing it. Alright, let's start anodizing. Got the knife here, it's looking great. There we go. The handle, I really like that malachite. I think it turned out perfectly. Then the blade, I originally was polishing it, but I decided to take it back to more of a brushed, satiny finish. And I think it's going to look really good. So, for the anodizing, I've got an electrolytic solution here. I just use baking soda and water, so super simple, super straightforward. Here's a test piece of titanium, and then here's my power supply. So, I can adjust the voltage here. All I need to do is clamp the positive lead on one end, and then I use this sponge as sort of a paintbrush. Now I've got the voltage pretty low just because I wanted to test it and just really slowly ease my way into it. I've got the voltage set to 12 now. Just upped it slightly, and there we go. I'm starting to see that golden color. So you can see it's silver here. After a few strokes, that's a nice goldeny bronze color. So that's what I want to do for the knife itself. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start testing stuff out on the knife. It's going to be hard to get all the little individual details, but I'll just try to make sure I can get the electrode touching certain points, and we'll get this whole thing gold in a matter of a few minutes, hopefully. here it is. I'm amazed by how well that worked. That is such a nice, bright, vibrant gold. Looks incredible. And a really pleasant surprise was the pins. I was worried I was gonna have to try to figure out a way to hold the alligator clip on the back here while I did one side and then repeat the process on there. But no, it just worked by having the contact just over here on the blade. So apparently the titanium pins had enough contact here in order to allow the electricity to flow through it. I was able to do it all in one easy step. So here it is. Let me go ahead and sharpen this up and we'll be finished. Let's see if we can cut this sticky note. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, I'm actually really impressed by that. It's not as good as like a perfectly sharpened blade steel knife, but that's a lot better than just like a standard dull kitchen knife. So that is really impressive, and the knife itself is beautiful. I love the gold on there. You can check out the malachite. It turned out fantastic. So much cool stuff going on. I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures of this, have it showing at the end here so you guys can get a better look. But let's go cut some more stuff. Maybe I'll go grab some carrots and see how it does with that. Alright, I got a cutting board, not the cleanest cutting board in the world. This is the same one I used to cast the epoxy earlier, but it'll look official at least. Let's check this out. Nice. Yeah. This makes a pretty solid knife. It's not like crazy sharp or anything like that, but it is certainly usable. Cool. Alright guys, well this was my first knife video I think I've ever made. Knives have been something I've wanted to get into for a very long time. I used to make knives before I made rings even, but I've just never made a video about them. So any feedback would be greatly appreciated. I hope you really like this video. If there's any other combinations or things you'd like to see, do let me know. But other than that, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, be sure to do that. If you don't follow me on Instagram, be sure to follow me over there. That's a great place to see any behind the scenes content and just everything like that. I do giveaways and things like that. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.